All right, welcome back to the channel. Shawn Porter, living in a delusional world, man, says that he taught Errol Spence Jr. a boxing lesson in that fight that he had. I don't know what he's talking about, but I do know that a lot of what he said is true about his ability to fight and keep these other guys like Terrence Crawford from wanting to fight him. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So, Shawn Porter, former IBF welterweight champion, former WBC welterweight champion, gave a talk on online. Obviously, now the PBC is pushing a lot of these fighters to get on live streams, to do podcasts, to keep their names out there. So thank goodness. And that's good for me because I love talking about what fighters have to say. So Shawn Porter was talking about the Errol Spence Jr. fight. And because, that's the fight that he really wants, the rematch, because Shawn Porter believes that he won the fight. Now, if you guys don't recall, let me remind you that they being Errol Spence Jr. and Shawn Porter fought last year right before Errol Smith Jr.'s car accident. It was an absolutely terrific fight. I'm not sure who won all of the fights of the year, but I would consider, the fight with Shawn Porter and Errol Spence Jr. is one of the fights of the year. Definitely one of the best fights of the year. And Shawn Porter put up a very, very solid showing in that, like he always does. Because the thing with Shawn Porter is, you get in the ring with Shawn Porter, you better best believe that you're going to get a fight out of him. I think he has 3 losses. He has 3 losses on his career. All of them were in championship fights. All of them were top level fighters. Errol Spence Jr., Kell Brook, and Keith Thurman. All of those guys are top level welterweights. And Shawn Porter gave all of those guys very, very tough fights. Now, where Shawn Porter also will do is, because of the way that he fights, even when he wins, he's still he's in rough and tumble fights, but he's got a lot of different ways he can fight. And he showed that, in my opinion, against Errol Spence Jr. So I think that there is something that he could take out of that fight with and feel proud about, because he did an excellent job. But at the same time, man, a boxing lesson, I think that's a little bit of an overstatement, don't you? Just, a little bit, maybe just a little bit over the top. I think it might be a little bit over the top. It was a good fight, but Shawn Porter lost that fight, man. But one thing he did point out, though, man, was that and one of the explanations that he gave for when he thought he had him, right? Because he tells this story about his tailor. Gotta love Shawn Porter and Shawn Porter's tailor. They have given me more magic, more, not want to say laughs, because I know he's styling. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's out there styling in his green suits, man, with his gigantic ties. Dude with them ties with the top of it about that wide. He's definitely styling. If that's him, he likes his clothes, and that's what's most important, man, that you feel good in your clothes. Personally, though, man, I think you might every once in a while just be doing a little too much, kind of like Floyd Mayweather. You got money. Same time, dog. You don't have to wear $5,000 on you, man. Customized green suits. Anyway, so he was talking about his tailor, man, and good problem to have, and you know where you are in life if you're having conversations with your tailor. You know what I mean? He says that when he talks to his tailor, his tailor always asks him after fight, when did you know you had him? So his tailor asked Shawn Porter about the Errol Spence Jr. fight and said, hey, when did you know you had Errol Spence Jr.? Shawn Porter's reaction was when he hit him with a pull counter. He's like, Floyd Mayweather Jr. had the pull counter. If you're not familiar with a pull counter is where somebody shoots a jab at you. You just move right out of the way of the jab, and as he recoils his jab, you come with a straight right. So you pull away from the jab, or you pull away from the jab. I don't think you want to turn your head off like that, but you pull away from the jab, and then you come back with the straight hands. And he said that when he did that to Errol Spence, he heard Errol Spence say, "Oh, ish," or "Oh, F." Like he didn't expect that, right? And from then he knew, that's when he knew he had him. He was outboxing him. He was a step or two ahead of him in the fight. And I was like, man, I don't know, dog. It seemed like you guys were what and what for certain rounds. There were some things that Shawn Porter did to Errol Spence Jr. that, it's tough stuff, man. He could, like, his ability to get off the ropes, to hold or move his Errol Spence Jr. to the side and him spin off the ropes like he did. Those are pretty slick moves, man. He showed some nice slick footwork off the ropes. However, the ribs don't lie. And the fact of the matter is, man, that Errol Spence Jr. outboxed him, right? You just outfought him. Most of the exchanges that I recall in those fights was Errol Spence Jr. getting the better of Shawn Porter in those particular instances. Not like Shawn Porter never landed any significant fight points or any significant shots or did his thing. He clearly did and was clearly caused some damage to Errol Spence, because you could see that Errol Spence Jr.'s side of Errol Spence Jr.'s head was swollen up. But hey man, that's Shawn Porter, dude. Shawn Porter is like, man, that's damn near the king of toughness. You know what I mean? That's shout out to my man Junior the Truth from Ohio and all the other cats from Ohio. That your boy is representing Ohio very well, always has. He's very strong, he's durable. He's awkward, he's tough. So, it's very, very difficult to just get out and just blow out Shawn Porter, man, because of some of the things that Shawn Porter said about his intangibles, man. He's definitely has the things that he talked about in spades, because he said, a lot of people don't understand. They thought that Shawn Porter was going to get blown out by Errol Spence Jr. because they couldn't really account for Shawn Porter's intangibles. The fact that he's just not going to go out without a fight, right? That he's just a tough, grind out, difficult guy to beat. But like I said, he did it. You know what I mean? You walk out there with an L, dude. You didn't give a dude a boxing lesson, man, unless the boxing was part of the lesson was how to beat you. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that was exactly the right the right phrase for him. And I also don't know if I don't think he was a step or two ahead. What I thought he was pretty much Errol Spence Jr. trying to fight him and trying to knock him out. And I don't think Errol Spence Jr. had enough respect for his power, or his inside game to resort to boxing from the outside. Now, also, I think that might have been, if Errol Spence Jr. had done that, if he had tried to fight from the outside, there's a chance he could have lost to Shawn Porter, because Shawn Porter, if you're going to try to fight on the outside and you're not engaging, then Shawn Porter is going to throw a jab, throw a straight right hand, jump in there and try to start mauling you. So, I just don't know. It could have been a situation where, Shawn Porter made it really awkward for Errol Spence. So I think the Errol Spence had the right game plan. He was going to beat him with the J. He's going to set up the jab, set up everything off the jab, get into the, get on side with Shawn and beat Shawn and what Shawn does best. And that's pretty much what happened, man. Now, going forward though, the spirit of what Shawn Porter was talking about, I agree with, because I don't think Shawn Porter's, stock went down at all losing to Errol Spence. Personally, I think Errol Spence Jr. is the best welterweight that's out. Terrence Crawford, I think, is the best pound for pound fighter in the world, but I think Errol Spence Jr. is the best, or should I use like Shaquille O'Neal language? Like, remember how I used to think, man, Shaquille O'Neal is the best player in the NBA. And people say, no, he's just the most dominant. He's the most dominant. I mean, what do you mean? If you're the most dominant, you're the best. The whole dominant means you're winning, right? If you're dominating, you're winning. So he must be the best if you're winning. But, not everybody, people want to find a way to split hairs with stuff. So maybe I'll just join in on the split hair and say, Errol Spence Jr. is the most dominant. A welterweight. He's the guy that's going to run through dudes, beat him up, stop him, but with Mikey Garcia, hey man, he fought him, he beat him with his own style. But look, I Any of these matchups at 147 pounds, dude, I'll take. Whether it's Errol Spence, Shawn Porter, rematch, Errol Spence Jr., Terrence Crawford, Shawn Porter, Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Shawn Porter, or any Ugas, Manny Pacquiao. I'll take any of them because I think that division is very rich, it's very thick, it's very deep. And I'm looking forward to these fights getting back on, man. So thank you for giving me something to talk about and something to think about, Shawn Porter. And with that, we're out. Peace.